Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach, and it's Real Talk Wednesday. So, what language do you speak? What is your language? You're like, duh, English, some Spanish, some French. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Man, I'm talking about the language of love. One of the most common phone calls or 911 calls that we get a lot of times has to do with relationship 911. Just not going well, whatever the case may be. And if you listen carefully, and I'm not a relationship expert at all, but going through school and going through pastoral training, things like that, I've learned quite a bit about counseling, so I know a little more than I did. And to say, well, he doesn't act like he loves me, she doesn't act like she loves me. Well, okay then, tell me this: how is it you feel loved? What do you mean by that? What is your love language? What is it that makes you feel loved the most? And there's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and it's really the 5 most common love languages. And so I'm going to read them, and before you can expect your husband, your wife, your fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, you need to first figure out how it is that you do feel love so that you can communicate to them, because you might be speaking the wrong language with each other, and so it's more babble than it is anything. You're just not getting it. And so that'd be like me calling a play on the football field. If you don't know terminology, you don't understand what I'm saying. And so, okay, here's one of them: words of affirmation. What is that? Man, you look so pretty today. You're a great mom. You're a great dad. I love when you wear your mustache like that. But hopefully we're talking to him, right? I had to be funny. I'm sorry. I love your meatloaf. I appreciate you. Say, man, that's when I feel loved. Okay. Secondly, acts of service. Okay. Mowing the yard, painting the house, taking out the trash, service acts. Cleaning out the car, taking it to get gas put in it. Those are things that make you feel loved. Well, if you've never voiced that to him or her, there you go. Okay, physical touch. Okay, I'm not talking about like getting down like Charlie Brown. I'm just talking about even physical touch. A hug, man, just a small touch on the arm, a kiss on the cheek, something like that. Physical touch. Again, have you ever communicated that to them? Maybe you don't know what your love language is. Okay, the next one, quality time. And so do not tell me, say, well, I did spend quality time with her last night. We watched the Cowboys and the Eagles together. Okay, cool, but she hates football. And you hollered the whole time. That does not fly. Doesn't work. Okay? Go to the movies, date night. Something when I was married the first time, never invested in my relationship. Just didn't. And look how it turned out. Lesson learned. We invest in things we believe in. Quality time, focusing on one another. Is that how you feel loved? Okay. Receiving gifts. Okay. Maybe you've gotten a lot of gifts, but that's not your love language, or vice versa. You're like, okay, because a lot of times there's a motive that goes with that, okay? That you gave a gift. Hear me out now. You gave a gift because you're all about that physical touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give my girl a fur coat, and I'm hoping I'll get a little physical touch. Well, we call that a motive. Man, we're talking about learning to love unconditionally. Here's what really bothers me to say, man, a lot of times in that type of relationship, you can salvage that relationship because with God, all things are possible. What really breaks my heart is when somebody says this: he's never going to change, she's never going to change, and they just give up. No. But here's a fact. There's more divorces in the Christian circle than there is the non-Christian. Just as much. That's sad, folks. That's sad. Man, I'm talking about learning to live unconditionally. And if we will learn to speak and love that love language, you'll be amazed what God will do with that relationship and how you'll begin to love somebody in a whole new way. What's your love language? Maybe you can tell me.